Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous video we successfully implemented the master layout for our backend using Bootstrap SB Admin 2, and in the last video we successfully created some sample pages, for example categories and dashboard, and we are going to use these pages as a reference for creating the remaining pages, for example tags, blogs, contact us, CMS, etc. Okay, so in this video we are going to create a master layout for our front end, and in this case we are going to use Bootstrap clean block template. Okay, let me just show you the preview. Let's access this clean block directory and I will open index.html. So we are going to use this file as a reference for creating the master layout. Okay, nice and simple. So let's move to Sublime, and once again I just want to clarify one thing, that I always keep my backend separated from front end and custom auth, so that let's say if I want to work on a specific file that is related to backend, I can simply navigate to the backend folder and select my related file on which I want to perform some functionality or some task, etc. Okay, so this makes it easy for me. So in this case I'm going to create a new folder inside this view. Right click, new folder, and the name of the new folder would be front end. Nice and simple. And now I am going to create a new folder inside this front end folder, and new folder name would be layout. This is going to contain the layout of front end. Okay, so now let's create a new file inside this layout folder. New file, let's save it, and the name of this new file would be master.blade.php. as simple as that. Okay, now let's open this index.html in Sublime, and I will just copy everything from right here to my master blade. That's it. Save it. That's it. Now let's see this master blade working, and for that I will move to web.php to create a route. Okay, because we are working with Laravel and we must have a route in order to see a specific page. Okay, so now first of all I want to remove this master related route. Why? Because all these are route once again are configuration route, and we are not going to call any view with the help of closure function. We always use controller for calling the views, because we need to implement some let's say we want to fetch some data, and then we want to place that data to this specific page. So it's better to call all the views from the controller. Okay, and we are going to do this all the time in the project. So these are just the configuration route, and we are not going to use this master blade because this is just a let's say layout file which we are using right here for dashboard and categories. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this route from right here. Okay, now I will just write another comment, and the name of the comment would be front end. That's it. Let's create a route to test our master blade. Once again this is a configuration route. Okay guys, /master function would be a closure function, and let's return our view to see some changes. Return view and front end dot layout dot master. Okay, let's run our project, and I will move to git bash. I have already accessed my project directory and folder right here. So what I'm going to do, php artisan server. Okay, let's see if XAMPP is up and running. Yeah, right here. Yes, it is. Okay, let's move to Google and let's access our project. Okay, so in my case the fonts right here would be different from yours. Why? Because I don't have internet connection in this case. Okay, so don't worry, this is not going to, let's say this is not an issue. Okay, in this case I just don't have an internet connection. Okay, so now let's test our master layout. Master, and right here you can see we have clean block related HTML markup. So now let's make the CSS and JavaScript files working, and for that and for simplicity what I'm going to do, let's move to top, and in this case I want vendor folder, Bootstrap vendor contains bootstrap, then css, bootstrap.min.css. so for simplicity, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this vendor folder from clean block directory and paste it inside my project public folder. Okay, so let's move to vendor. Right here I will just copy it and I will open in a new window seed directory, open a new window, and let's access XAMPP and htdocs right here, blogging and public, and I'm going to create a new folder, and the name of the folder would be once again front end, and inside this front end folder I'm going to place the vendor folder. That's it. Okay, so now let's make the necessary changes. And how to call a link or CSS file in Laravel, I know you guys know that now. You can try implementing that on your own as well. For simplicity, let's call asset front end, then cut everything from right here and paste it right here. That's it, simple as that. Okay, and once again this CSS is inside the vendor folder. Since we have already copied this vendor folder, so we have this file as well, because these are the subfolders of vendor folder. Let's say vendor is the parent folder and it contains bootstrap, font awesome, etc. folders inside. So let's change the link to Laravel way asset method front end slash and cut everything from right here, paste it right here. That's it, nice and simple. Okay, so now these are the links and we don't need to change this because we are going to get this font family etc. from the internet with the help of Google. Right here you can see Google APIs etc. so we don't need to change that. Okay, just keep that in mind. And now we need the CSS folder from the main directory, so I will just move to clean block folder, copy this CSS folder and paste it right here inside my public front end folder. Now let's change the link. This time it would be asset front end slash cut everything, paste it right here. That's it. Let's see if we have any changes to our layout. Refresh and you can see it's working perfectly fine. Okay, now let's move to JavaScript and I will just scroll down right here, and once again this jQuery folder is inside the vendor folder, so we already copied this vendor folder, so we don't need to copy this once again. I will just change the link, asset front end slash cut everything, paste it right here. That's it. Okay, once again it is using vendor folder, just change the link front end slash cut everything and paste it right here. That's it. Okay, and now we need the JS folder from the main directory for this clean blog min.js. So what I'm going to do, let's move to Bootstrap and I will just copy this JS folder and let's place it right here in the front end folder. Let's change the link, asset front end slash cut everything and paste it right here. Nice and simple. Okay guys, so our JS and CSS is working perfectly fine. Now is the time to remove the unnecessary CSS and JavaScript files. Okay, let me tell you one thing first, and that is right here you can see we are using all.min.css right here as well, and if I access backend layout master, we are using all.min.css in right here as well. Okay, but in this case I'm not going to remove one of these files. Why? let's keep things separate, and after we have completed our blogging system, then maybe in the extra lesson we can remove the unnecessary file and call the specific file from one specific folder. Let's say if we have this all.min.css inside backend and inside frontend folder, we can remove the other folder and just call it from the one folder. Okay, in this case, let's say remove this all.min.css from front end folder and just call it from the backend folder for simplicity. But for now we are not going to do that. Just keep that in mind, because we may break anything. Because if you see this master layout CSS and JavaScript, and let's say if we see this dashboard related page CSS and JavaScript, so you can simply see the difference. One reason is this sbadmin2.min.css file right here, and here we have cleanblog.min.css. okay, so one reason for the change of these two layout are these files right here. But for now I'm not going to remove this. Just keep that in mind. If you want to, you can remove it later and call it from the one single folder, okay, to remove the let's say repetition of the code. Okay guys, so now let's remove the unnecessary CSS and JavaScript from the folders. So let's access this public and let's access it right here. Okay, now let me see what files are we using right here. Front end, from front end vendor I'm using this bootstrap.min.css, which is inside bootstrap and CSS. So let's access this front end vendor bootstrap CSS. Right here you can see the directory vendor bootstrap CSS and file name. Okay, so in this case we are only using bootstrap.min.css, so I'm just going to remove everything except this file. Control A, and I'm going to keep the min.map file as well, because sometimes Google throws a warning related to this map file. Okay, so let's find our file bootstrap.min.css right here and bootstrap.min.css.map. okay, and I'm going to remove everything except these two files. Okay, just remove everything and we have our files right here. Okay, now let's move to vendor font awesome free folder, vendor font awesome free, and CSS, I think, yeah, CSS, and I'm just going to select all, and I will just remove the all.min.css from the selection and delete everything. Okay, now third part is let's say we have CSS folder. Now let's move to CSS folder, front end CSS, and in this we are not using this file, so I'm just going to remove this. That's it. Okay, so we are done up till right here. Let's move to JavaScript. Okay, front end vendor jQuery.min.js. So I'm just going to remove each and everything except this file. Okay, so jQuery front end vendor jQuery, select all, jQuery.min.js. I'm just going to remove it from the selection and delete everything. That's it. Once again, it's vendor bootstrap js bootstrap bundle.min.js. So let's move to this vendor bootstrap and js. From js I'm just going to remove everything except this file. The name was bootstrap.bundle.min.js, and I will also remove from the selection this map related file. Let's remove everything and that's it, I think. Okay, let's see if we didn't break anything. Okay, so that's it from the JS. But oh, sorry, we have one folder remaining, and that is JS. Okay, front end JS, and remove everything except cleanblog.min.js, this one, and delete everything. That's it. Okay, let's move to Google and let's see if we didn't break anything. Okay, console. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. I'm seeing these two lines right here because of the internet issue. Okay, so that's not a problem. That's it. So now let's remove everything that is unnecessary. CSS, clean and tidy. JS, clean and tidy. Bootstrap, and everything from this JS. Okay, so now we have all the necessary files and we successfully deleted each and every unnecessary file. Okay, so nice and shining, it's working perfectly fine. Let's move to Google once again. Okay, now let's create a layout of this page, and for that what we are going to do, as simple as that, we are going to create the sections. Yield, I want the title section, title, nice and simple. Okay, and right here for some custom CSS, I want another section, and the name of this section would be styles. Okay, and let's move to, let's say, body. Right here I'm going to have a scripts related, custom scripts related section right here. Okay, so up till now we have three sections, and I'm going to create the fourth one, but first of all I'm going to break this code, break these like I want to break the header and footer files so we can read our code or HTML markup easily. So for the navigation, I'm just going to cut this navigation from right here, Control X, and I'm going to create a new file inside views, front end, layout, new file, and paste your code, and let's save it. This time the name of this file is topnav.plate.php. Nice and simple. Okay, let's refresh, and in this case we are not going to see the top navigation because we didn't include anything. Okay, so now let's include our top bar, include front end dot layout dot top bar. That's it. Top nav, I think it's top nav. Yes, it is top nav. Okay, let's see the changes. Oops, I think I break something. Okay, front end, yeah, spelling mistake. Okay, refresh. Okay, so our top navigation is right here. Okay, now let's get this footer in a separate file, and I will just copy this footer, cut, and once again I'm going to create a new file inside layout, new file, paste it, and the name of this would be footer.plate.php. Nice and simple. Okay, so now let's include a footer right here at the rate include front end layout dot footer. Let's check. Okay, once again I made a spelling mistake. Sorry guys, silly mistakes. Okay, so we have our footer in place right here. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. Okay, so guys, this main content is going to be the content of every specific page, and we are going to create a new section for this, and you already know the name, and the name of this section would be yield content. Okay, and in the next video we are going to create our sample pages that are related to our layout, for example, about, contact, sample post, post detail, etc. Okay, the blog detail. Okay, so in this case I'm not going to place this header inside top navigation. Why? Let me tell you the reason. Let me show you with an example. Let's access our index.html from clean blog. Right here you can see a different type of image right here on the main page. Let's move to about, and now you can see other text heading, some paragraph, and that is changed from this one right here, clean blog and some sample text. And when we move to about, we have a new image, we have new heading, and we have new paragraph. Now let's move to contact page, and now you can see we have a separate heading and separate data, let's say paragraph. Okay, so every page is going to have its own image, its own heading, and its own paragraph or span, whatever you can say. Okay, so in this case, this is not going to be included in the header navigation, because I know we are repeating this code, but each of the page has its own image, heading, and some span related data, or you can say paragraph. Okay, so in this case, it would be the part, this header section is going to be the part of the main content. Okay, just keep that in mind. And in the next video, we are going to configure our remaining pages. We have successfully implemented the layout. Let me show you. Let's refresh right here. Okay, so right here you can see this means that we have we are successfully calling our sections title. Whatever I can define right here would be right here. So our master layout is right here in front of you, and in the next video we are going to create all these sample pages. In this case, these pages are not working right here. Let me show you: contact, about, sample post, and post detail, etc. So we are going to create these pages in the next video, and I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and share. And yes, be ready. Okay, take care.